Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I will be doing my April wrap up. So April wasn't really a good reading month, I would say, just because I feel like I entered a slump halfway through the month, even though I was reading a book, and then, I mean, not for lack of trying, I did try to read. I did try and find the third book in the Three Dark Crown series, and then the script kept telling me no, it's not available, so I ended up buying the books anyway. So I only read one book this month, which is kind of sad. But it's kind of a hard time right now, especially with the world being in its state, and like I've just been really like focused on other things. I've been focused on other fun things in my life. I've been playing my DS more, and I've been on my computer a lot more doing some writing, so I guess that's a plus, I guess, to this bad time going on. But I know I need to read more, and I have a whole bunch of books on my shelf that I should be reading, but I have not wanted to read them at all. Anyway, I'm just gonna get into the single book that I read in the month of April. So this book that I read was one of my favorites, probably, of the year. Just because A, it's written by somebody who I know, and I loved them. They are an amazing person. Second of all, this book had a really, really cool premise that I couldn't pass up. So it was really cool to read this, and like it was really interesting to see which way things went, and I really, really enjoyed it. So without further ado, that book is Tuesday Mooney Talks to Ghosts by Kate Raculia, and I gave it 5 stars. So if you guys have never heard of this book before, it's about this lady or woman, Tuesday Mooney, and she is basically like your modern day Wednesday Addams. Like, she's really like dark and creepy, likes the dark and creepy things, and so she works for like this charity hospital thing, helping find like donors and stuff for a hospital. She's good at like basically investigating into people. So she goes to this one charity event held by the hospital, and she meets this really rich guy, and he ends up dying at the charity event. And so then it's released that he basically sent the whole entire town, or the whole entire city, onto like basically a mystery hunt to kind of, I don't know, like it was just like something that he really wanted to do. And so you have to solve all these mystery clues that lead back to like him and his connections to Edgar Allan Poe, and some really cool stuff happens actually. So we follow Tuesday and her best friend, like they're best friends, I would say, yeah, because they work together. It turns out that like the girl down the hall, which is like, she's like in high school, she wants to help Tuesday, and it was a whole whirlwind, let me tell you. Like, I was like halfway through the book, and it was when I was in my reading slump, and I was just like, oh my god, like I can't. And then I finished it, and it was really, really amazing. So there's some characters in here who are like not who you think they are. I'm not going to say who, that spoilers, but I really, really enjoyed this book. Kate Raculia was my professor last year. I think you've heard me talk about it a few times, and she was talking about this book in my class last year, and she was like, yeah, I have a book coming out in October, so we all were like, we need to go. So I went to the like signing party or whatever down by my school, because she worked at the town library there, and so they like held her event and everything, which was fun. I got to see some of my friends too from that class, so that was fun. Back to the book. The whole book, I thought she was going to like actually be seeing the ghost of Vincent Price, which is the billionaire who dies, but the way it's incorporated with ghosts is actually really, really cool. It turns out, and I'm not spoiling it because it's kind of talked about within the first couple chapters. So when Tuesday Mooney was young, when she was when she was in high school, she had this best friend, and this best friend ended up going missing either they thought she drowned in the river or the sea or something, and she ends up hearing her voice in her head, Tuesday Mooney does, and people think she's kind of going a little crazy from losing her friend, and she goes to therapy and stuff. But then she starts hearing her friend's voice again once Vincent Price's stuff is like happening. So it's actually really fun. I really liked the mystery aspect of this book just because it kept me going. I didn't see what was gonna happen. Like, there were some things that I did predict, but like I knew they were gonna happen because they were bound to happen, I guess you could say. The end of this book though really got me in the feels. Like, I think I was crying towards the end. Not because it was sad, just because like how everything wraps up and like how they end up like, I don't want to spoil because I don't want to do like a spoiler thing. How do I say this? So at the end of the events that happened, they end up forming this group from this event that happened, and they basically do it in honor of like Vincent Price. Like, they name it after like something Edgar Allan Poe-ish, and like basically it helps restore some of the stuff in the event that was actually really interesting. And yeah, and it just really hit me in the feels because like, I'm just gonna say it because like you find it out anyway, but Vincent Price's wife was pregnant with twins. So it just made me cry because every time somebody dies and their wife is like ends up finding out that she's pregnant, I just cry. So yeah. So that was me talking for 8 minutes about this book because I loved it so much. Kate did an amazing job with the way it was told, and I'm glad I read it right now because I think it was one of those times where I think I needed it. But I think I needed it like right now in this quarantine just because I needed it to like get me out of a slump. So hopefully next month you'll see that I've read more than one book. But thanks so much for watching. My name is Olivia, you're on Bookish Brick. It's my channel, and I hope to see you soon in another video. Bye!